What up, you guys? Slim here at Team Purple Panda, back with a new video sent to me by request yesterday, and I just got it today, and it's probably one of the best questions I've been asked to do for a video in a long time. Every once in a while, people send me something, instead of a generic question, you send me something that I never think of to discuss on my channel, but everyone knows my channel is everything this game related, and this is a perfect example. So strong shout out to you, like Bernie. I just checked out his channel. The dude's got some solid ass work, and as a fellow Yugituber, I respect when a good Yugituber comes to me and wants my opinion on something. So big shout out to him. Everybody check out his channel. This video, of course, like I said, is from him, and it is on how this game has changed over the years. How the game of Yu-Gi-Oh has gone from what used to be, a children's card game, and is now really fast paced, and everything has changed. There's new monsters, there's new ways to summon, there's broken ass cards, and this is probably going to be a long video because I actually have a lot to say on this, so bear with me, you guys. Trust me, this is something you want to hear, so I'll break it down for you guys the best I can. If I leave anything out, I apologize, and anyone wants to hear anything else, you know what to do. Contact me. I'm very good at getting back to people who contact me. So yeah, so let's get into this. So, from my recollection, back when I was in 5th grade, this game came out in March of 2002. And it came out, and we started with a Yugi and a Kaiba deck. Now, the reason we had the Yugi and Kaiba deck was at the same time the cartoon show, Yu-Gi-Oh, was released, out in America. And, of course, the main characters were Yugi and Kaiba. If everyone saw the first episode, Yugi plays Kaiba and wins by drawing Exodia. I think he was stacking, but it's okay. And back then they played with 2,000 life points. You couldn't direct attack, and they did crazy shit. Just normal summoning a level 8 like Blue Eye, level 7 like Dark Magician. I mean, yada yada yada. You guys know what's been going on if you followed this game over the years like I have. And most players can say, I can say the same, that we started with a Yugi and Kaiba deck. Some people picked one, some picked the other, and some picked both. Combined them together into one deck, to play. Now, a lot of people can also attest that we didn't fully understand how to properly play this game. A lot of us would go off of the show where you had 2,000 life points, all that stuff. You couldn't direct attack, blah, 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 blah. And you could just normal summon stuff. So, we all played wrong and whatever. We still had a good time, kids card game. So, we were just young, having fun. And, the game slowly began to evolve. We had booster packs. We had Legend of Blue Eyes. We had Metal Raiders, Magic Ruler, now called Spell Ruler. We had all of these packs that came out, that helped boost our decks. Metal Raiders was one of the best. They had Hollow Change of Heart. They had Mirror Force, which was was amazing back then. Now it's a common, which is unbelievable. But the format was simple, and a lot of decks that were run at the time were beatdown decks. I know a lot of people, if they know what I mean by beatdown decks, we used to run Goblin Attack Force, we used to run Harpy's Brother, Hysteric Fairy, whatever it was, the ones that were 1800, that were La Jin from Kaiba's deck, the ones that were good, we ran those, and we just played like that because that's all we knew how to do. The game was simple. And the game slowly paced on enough. I've noticed something as a player, that the game advances when the show advances, which is kind of weird, but whatever. So if people remember, after Yugi beat Pegasus and all this BS, blah blah blah, virtual world bullshit and all the lagging and stuff they did, they went on to do the Battle City tournament. Now the Battle City tournament was a big turning point in this game because they finally were playing somewhat by the rules. They boosted it up to 4,000 life points, and that you had to tribute in order to summon higher monsters. So thank God they actually did do that, because I mean that was a vast improvement from what else was going on. So it was around that time that a lot more packs had come out. I don't really remember my dates, but we had Labyrinth and Nightmare. We've had so many packs, I can't remember all of them, but they released a lot of cards. A lot of starter decks came out, and we started to get cards that made a difference in the game. Bottomless was released. Deep Prison came out in the video game. This is the common one, but it came out as a super in the video game. I'm trying to remember you guys. First archetypes were born. Gravekeepers first came out. They were nothing back then to what they are now, but they did come out. People remember from Pharaonic Guardian. They released the first, for one of the first archetypes. And, the game just progressed as it was meant to. And, you know, that's how, this game usually goes, is that, just like in this game, a lot of different cards come out, and they shaped the format for a while. And, a lot of people remember when they were back then playing. For certain reasons, you can remember that you had a beatdown deck. You do good, you do bad, and a lot of cards were different. Monarch started to come out. Jinzo was big. Ring of Destruction. Back when our ban list was a little more simpler, we still got to have like all the broken cards, Delinquent Duo, Confiscation, all this crazy shit that is long gone and never coming back. We had it all, so we really did have a good format. So it was interesting because you could come out with crazy deck ideas. And I remember specifically running it back in the time when I used to play at Toys R Us. Back when they had like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist League. I don't remember what the hell it was, but every time you won, you like stamped a book or something like that. And basically, it discussed like you just play like a beatdown deck, Magic Jammer, 7 tools, all that stuff was amazing because it prevented your opponent from activating stuff. And if you had like Jinzo or you had Mirror Force, you had like big cards, you were gonna win. And the God cards came out, and people were on the God cards nuts, not knowing that you couldn't really use them. So time progressed, different decks came out, and as a player in the game for so long, I attended. I think it was my first regionals back in. I want to say, or was it a Y? I don't remember. It was an SJC maybe or a regionals. I can't even remember, to be honest. It was in South San Francisco. I believe it was 06 or 07. I don't remember. It was around the time that Cyberstein was out. So if anyone knows what that was, comment below and let me know because I really don't remember. And Stein came out, and Stein was one of the most broken cards ever. Pay 5,000, summon an infusion monster. You basically paid 5,000, summon Cyber Twin, attack twice, limiter, you win. It was broken. Chainburn was also out. The deck was big. I myself was running kind of just like a weird anti-meta beatdown deck. And I mean, I went X3, which back then I didn't know anything. So, I mean, I guess that was good. As time progressed, like I said, different decks came and went. Demise came and went. Perfect Circle with the Destiny Heroes. Diamond Dude Turbo. Zombies, all these decks got their their moments to shine. And then I don't like, again, you guys, I'm not super good with my dates, but around I want to say the year, it was either 08 or 09, I really don't remember. We were introduced to these guys, Synchro Monsters. Synchro Monsters came out and they changed this game forever. Stardust was one of the first ones released, along with Red Dragon Archfiend, Goyo Guardian, may he rest in peace and come back, I hope. And just a lot of different cards. And I mean, I picked these up and I'm like, what the hell are these things? How do I summon them? And I had Crabons and I had to figure all this shit out. And it was interesting because it taught you a lot of new things as a player. So Synchro started to take over, and when you summon like Stardust or something like that, you instantly like won because your opponent didn't know. A lot of players were new to this and they didn't know how to get around something like that. So Synchro has had a big influence in this game, and they still do today. So that is one of the big changes of this game. Other cards were released as the time progressed, and I mean, I'm going to fast forward a bit because, I don't want this video to be ridiculously long, but different archetypes started to take over. Gladiator Beasts had their time to shine where they were unstoppable, and I honestly think that's going to happen again because they're a really solid deck type. All these different decks started to come out. Gravekeeper started to get a little bit better. There was the Corn Arcs and the different Monarch variants that were made to defeat Gladiator Beasts, and to just take on the format. Then as time progressed, if we fast forward even to maybe about a year ago or whatever, a lot of new archetypes started to come in. X-Sabers came in. Gravekeepers got revamped, and they started to make an appearance again. There were other deck types. There was, everyone remembers Teledad. I don't even have to get into Teledad. $1,500 for the entire blinged out deck. You either ran it or you didn't. I ran the deck. Unfortunately, I never got to take it to a main event. I was always too busy. So basically, I invested in it for nothing. But I mean, in the long run, I made all my money back, so it was cool. Yeah, so Dark Arm was a big card in the game when it came out in Phantom Darkness or whatever it was. Honestly can't even remember, but different archetypes started to take off. Infernities arrived and wrecked the format for like a minute until they got hit in the list, but they were a good archetype and they were very consistent back when you had three launchers and did beetle loops and you just synchro, attack, 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 barrier, 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 you're done. Amazing archetype. Lightsworns came out. Everyone remembers Lightsworn, how we all fought to get our Judgment Dragons, and how you could open so broken you could mill like two wolves, so you could go wolf wolf and beat down with wolf Lumina Garoth, and right there that's like 3850, ridiculous, or 2850, I can't even remember, but yeah, 3850. But as time progressed, other archetypes come out. Blackwings came out back with triple whirlwind, triple gale, ridiculously broken deck. uh, a lot of other decks were put aside. Crystal Beasts were put aside. Just different archetypes were put aside. Dragons fell by the wayside. Uh, and then, then we reached the point where Pot of Duality was finally released to us. It would have been called Pot of Greedorosity back in Japan. And it was released to us along with other cards like Solemn Warning. And basically, it was cards like that, Formula Synchron, and now the release of Tech Genos Hyper Librarian, Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. That this format we've arrived to the format that we're at now, where you have to run Trishula. It's amazing. Why wouldn't you run it? Cards were released in video games and released in promotional magazines like Shonen Jump, and then were released as gold. Thunder King Ryo is one of those examples. And then the format completely changed to where you had OTK potential with Fish, you had OTK potential with all different types of deck. Twilight came about with Chaos Sorcerer in Lightsworns with Dark Monsters, and now we've arrived, currently, here we are, it's July 18th. 2011, and we're in the format now where Hyper Librarian is running loose. Plants are amazing. Tech Genos has won nationals, and all the other decks like X Sabers, Gravekeepers, Gladiator Beast, Six Samurai have all reached their pinnacle for this format and are all among some of the top decks, along with some of the other underrated decks that are starting to come out. And now with the release of course, with Tour Guide of the Underworld, plants are getting even more support with that. And we're just wondering as players what's going to happen September 1st when the format once again will change. So if you look at the timeline, we've gone down from a very simple format to where you would beat down your opponent with just big monsters to a format where you could use little monsters and other card effects to get advantage. Synchro monsters forever changes the game. Six Samurai ran rampant for 2 weeks straight where they couldn't be stopped with Triple Gateway. Sheehan was one of the most broken synchro monsters to ever be released, as was Trishula, as will Shooting Quasar Dragon. And basically we get to the point where the format, the same things are happening. Broken cards are getting released, old decks are coming back, new decks are falling by the wayside, new ideas are being put together. And that's where we are currently in this game right now. And as a player who's been there since the beginning, I've seen it all happen. I've been there for the ups, I've been there for the downs. I'm sure anyone who watches this video can relate to that. We've had our share of amazing cards that have been released, cards that we were glad to see gone, like Cold Wave on the ban list, and cards that we hope will come back and hopefully bring us back to a more steady format where you're not reliant on one card to win, but more rogue decks have the chance, as this game should. It shouldn't be 6 different decks are the only decks that are going to work. If you're not running this, you're not going to do well. I feel that Konami, has screwed us a lot, but with the release of all these reprints that are coming out, Pot of Duality, Archlord Christia, and I've heard things of Fossil Dyna, which is probably true. And it's gotten to the point where, they're basically begging us to play. And you know what? It's okay. We're going to play regardless. So that's all I got to say, you guys. This video is going to be about 15 minutes, which is my limit. That's all I have to say. Once again, shout out to Like Bernie. Go and check out his channel. This has been Yu-Gi-Oh! Throughout the Ages by Slim. I guess that's what I'll call it, something like that. We've gone through everything that has happened in this game, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. If I left anything out, once again, I apologize. I hope this covers it as vast as I can in only 15 minutes. I'd honestly need an hour to get a full discussion, but, I'm doing what I can. So, thank you guys. Please continue to rate, comment, subscribe. Leave me ideas for new videos. Continue to enjoy the format. And yeah, that's all I got to say, you guys. May this game forever be played by all us good players. And thank you for watching.